Hello, Chatham families. How are you doing? Today, I am very excited because we are going to do origami, which in Japanese means the art of folding paper. And we are going to do that to create a nice decoration for our rooms or for a granny or a granddad, you know, something to remind them that we love them. Especially if you have family away from you. It's always nice to, you know, have something of a craft done for them. I remember when I was a kid, I used to love decorating my room, and one of the things I always did was like these little mobiles and origami figures that I absolutely adore. And then you can decorate them as you want. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you this. You can flip. There you go. Sometimes it gets a little tangled, but once you untangle it, you can decorate it and make it your own. And you can hang it from a place in your bedroom or the door. And I used to have them over my bed. And I remember doing this a lot when I was a kid. So I hope you like this craft that we're gonna do together. What do you need? You're gonna need a paper. Just white paper, it works perfectly fine. I like to do this because it's easier to fold. I did try some cardboard. As you can see, that was a very bad idea because it takes forever to mark, so don't do this. I have a bunch of markers and crayons. I also have some stickers. And you're gonna need also some string or ribbon. I like the ribbon because it just makes it look nicer, but the strands are perfectly fine. You're also gonna need some popsicles. If you don't have any popsicles, you can use pens. I remember I used pens instead. It's a little trickier, but you can do the popsicles if you want. I also have this feathers, which I absolutely love, and those are the ones that I use for the little bird I did. So those are really fun. I have glitter, and you can use whatever you want, whatever colors you want. Glue. This is the best one. And I also have these little beads that I found. They're just awesome. You can use whatever you want to decorate. If you want to do with crayons, markers, colors. I think I remember I once used even soda tops just to make it shiny. I mean, you can use whatever you want. So the first thing that we're going to learn how to do today, well, we're going to do a boat. Or, there we go. I named mine SS Chatham. A frog. See, and the frog's very nice because you can actually put your fingers inside and just, yay, make the frog move. And then you're also gonna do the bird. There you go, this little birdie. And if you grab it from here, you can make the tail and the wings move. So we're gonna learn how to do the boat first because it's the easiest one. I clear the table. I make sure I use some plastic to cover the table, just in case, you know, glue gets a little messy. So I'm just gonna move this here so you can see it properly. So I'm gonna take one piece of paper first, and I am going to move this so you can see it properly. There you go. Give me a second. There. Nice. Okay. So first things first, we're gonna use the whole page like this, okay? The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna fold it in half. And you gotta make sure that you use your corners all the way and then mark your edges properly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark it really well. From here, I'm gonna bend over one more time here, and this is only to mark the line in the middle. I'm gonna open again. So now you have the opening edges to the bottom. You're gonna grab this corner and bring it to the line in the middle and just mark it really well. Then we're gonna do the other side, and again towards the line in the middle, mark it really well so it looks something like this. Okay, then you're gonna open one of the sides, leaving the other side on the table, and fold it towards the tip, mark it really well. Then you're gonna turn it around and do the same with the other flap. There you go. Okay, so you have something like this now. We're gonna take these corners in and we're gonna fold them in here. And then we're gonna do the same with the other one. Mark it really well So it looks like a perfect triangle. Same thing on the other side. There you go. And mark it really well. Okay. So this is, you can use it as a hat. There you go. Or we can continue doing our boat. So from here, okay, what's gonna happen is we're going to take these two corners and then push them to the center. And this has just become a nice rhomboid. Okay, so from here, you got the two flaps, one side and then the other one, okay? You're gonna put it on the table and you're gonna take this corner and fold in the middle so the two corners are together. And again, mark it really well. You're gonna turn it around and you're gonna do exactly the same thing on the other side. Check. Fold it here. Remember always to mark it really well. Okay, so now you have this. You have like a 3 triangle figure here. You're gonna take the two corners, put your thumbs inside, up, and then you're just gonna bend it here. And you got another rhomboid, okay? Just press it really well. All right, and you're gonna take this two top corners and open it. There you go. Now I like mine really flat, so I always flatten it here, but you don't have to. If you want a more open boat, you can always leave it like this. This is perfectly nice. I like mine open, but you can do whichever size and whichever shape you want. And now we have our boat. So I have, so the first one I did, I call it the SS Chatham. For the second one I did, I am working on doing some windows, but you can do whatever you want. This one, for example, I wanted to cover it with stickers. So I started by putting this rocket and moon and Saturn stickers all over. I really like this one. And then I'm gonna paint it with glitter and probably put some colors in there, okay? So we got our boat. Next thing we're gonna do is our frog. I'm gonna take the other piece of paper and we're going to fold it here again. It takes pretty much the same steps as the boat, but we're gonna do just the last modification. So again, fold it in half and mark it really well. Again, fold it in half, mark it really well. Okay, open it here. And then follow the same steps as we did before. We're gonna bring one of the corners to the middle, the line in the middle, and then do the same thing for the other side. So as you can see, the steps are very, very similar to the boat. Again, my flaps are gonna open to the back here. Mark it really well. Turn it around. Flap over to the top. And then put the little flappy wings in. Nice. Okay, once you got it here, remember, thumbs in and just collapse it to form a nice rhomboid. You got your nice rhomboid, you're gonna put it back in here. The two flaps that open, we're gonna fold them to the back as we did for our boat. And the same thing here. Okay, now we're gonna mark it really well. Now remember we had our 3 triangles going on here. We're going to take the 2 corners and put our thumbs in and then flap it again. Just crush it in. Okay, now remember we used to open it for the boat. Now we're not gonna do that. We're gonna just bend it here. And now we can put our fingers inside and you got your frog. Yay! So for example, the last one I did, the first one I did, I think I colored it green and I put some eyes and a little tongue for it. There you go. But for this one, I used the stickers as eyes and another sticker for the tongue. And now I can use this like that. Yay! Then you can color it and do whatever you want with it. I love to decorate these frogs because they're just so much fun. Okay, we're gonna move to the bird. The bird's a little more complicated. So the only thing with the bird is that you're probably gonna need to cut a little piece of the paper off, you need a square, a perfect square. So to make a perfect square, we're gonna take one of the corners and take it to one of the sides. So it makes a perfect triangle here. And then this part, you don't really need scissors, but if you want to use them, that's absolutely fine. If you need some help, always, you know, ask mom and dad or a grown-up to help you. If you mark it really well from both sides, you're normally able to get rid of it without actually using scissors. See, I mark it really well. And I've done this enough, so I know that if I do this, normally this piece, if I do it gently, will come along nicely. You can also use a ruler to do this. Let's see. Now I start on the other side because sometimes you get a little, there you go. Yep, there you go. So this is the paper that we're now gonna use. We can use this actually to decorate some things later. So now you got a perfect square, okay? You got a line in the middle. So we're gonna do another line in the middle, opposite of the one that we already have. So, yep. There we go, and we're gonna mark it really well as well. Okay. Okay. So now we have a perfect X mark in our paper, and this is why this is so important, because we're gonna use these two lines as guides. Okay, now you don't need a pen, but just to make it simple for everybody, I am going to number the corners, only because it might prove easier later. So I'm gonna put 1, 2, 3, and 4. This has to be, you can do it very small, and once you do it a few times, I'm sure it's gonna be easy. Okay, so we got a proof for X. We're gonna take corner number 1, which is here at the top, okay? And we are going to use 1 and 2 to fold it here towards the line in the middle. And just bend it here, mark it really well. Okay? So it looks something like this. Okay. So now, since we took 1 and 2, we are going to also take 4 and do like a little airplane. So we are folding both corners to the inside. Okay, mark it really well. There's a lot of marking in this one. Okay, now it looks something like this. We're gonna do exactly the same thing with corner 2 and corner 3. So we're gonna bring them here to the middle. And then the same thing here. So again, it looks like an airplane when you fold it. But now you have more markings. See, they are mirroring the first markings that we did. Remember, these ones are first markings. So now you have something like this. Okay, cool. All right, now we're gonna start with the opposite side. So I'm gonna grab corner 2 and fold it in here, again, repeating the same steps as we did for corner 1 and 2. So now we got 2 and 1, let's just call it like that. Mark it really well and mirror this one as well. There we go. So here's our third airplane. Now we're gonna do this corners to the top, okay? So it's always like a mirroring corner marking, and these are just guides that we are going to use to the crane. Believe me, it takes forever to mark everything, but it's all worth it. Okay, so now we got our fourth airplane kind of thing. Mark it really well. Okay, so when you open your paper, it should look something like this. A lot of markings, huh? Okay. Okay, once you got this, okay, this is the tricky part. We are going to kind of make spikes with this, and if it will naturally form into a kind of star kind of thing. And then we're gonna fold this to the top and try to go grab this part. So normally when you go this shape, you need to, just to make it easier, mark it just a little bit. I'm gonna fold it in half again one more time. And this step is not necessary per se, but I like to do it because it just makes everything just so much easier. See how I mark it just to the half that I'm gonna use? And you don't need to be really strong in here, but it does help a lot. Okay, so back to the star shape. This is a tricky part, I know. This is gonna take me 2 minutes. Everything else takes 30 seconds. Okay, so once you got this star, basically what you need to do is bring them together. And I know this is kind of messy, so you're gonna have to manually try to fold them little by little so this corners stick with each other. You know, like a diamond shape thing. There we go. So see, if you bring all the corners together, you have like a rocket looking form. There you go. And you can flatten them a little bit so they look nice. You can mark them again, and you can flatten one against each other to make it look nice. Flatten it, open it, and then flatten it again. Okay. So we have like a rocket looking paper like this. Oh, there you go. Okay, we're gonna take 2 of the corners and we're gonna open it and flatten it. Okay, you still got your rhomboid. You're gonna put it on the table, and one of the points, it's going to fold here. Mark it, turn it around. The other point is gonna go to the top. And now you have 2 tops here, 2 tops that separate here, okay? You're gonna take these corners and you're going to open them and flap them so you end up with this. Aha! So you're looking more like a crane. So once you get to this point, you have to decide which one you want to be the tail and which one you want to be the face. So I think this part looks more like a face. So what are you gonna do is grab the corner with your middle finger, put your thumb in here, and then just go flatten them and squeeze them. And that's your face. This is gonna be your tail. So you're gonna grab the wings and bring them here, 1, and fold them here. There you go. Again, mark it really well, and you can choose to go halfway here with the wings. So just to make a little fold. And if you grab the crane for here, the dove or the bird from here, you can flap the wings using the tail. Now what I did with my other one, I put some ice, and then I'm gonna put another eye on the other side, and then just stuck the little feathers to it. So you can use the beads, you can use the markers, you can use whatever you want to decorate your little crane or dove. Then we move to the part where we do the mobile. So we got the 2, we're gonna grab 2 popsicles, and it doesn't have to be these little ones, you can use the big ones. I like to actually use some glue to glue them together in the center. I think it just gives a little more stability. And what I did in my other mobile, just to give it a little more sturdiness, let's just call it that, I actually wrapped around a piece of yarn to make it more sturdy, because then it's just going to be easier to hang it. Okay, then you can wrap anything that you want. You can use the ribbon, or you can use the piece of string. So for example here, once it kind of settles with the glue, I am going to put it here and then just turn around a few times from one side, turn it around a few times for the other one, and then just kind of make a little knot in here, up, and pull it. There you go. Now, this is the part where you can use to hang it, and then you can tie around the ribbon or the other pieces of yarn, for example. And you can do 1 for each. You don't have to do, you don't have to do 3 in a row like me. You can do whatever you want. You can do 3 mobiles and just hang them around your room. Like for example, this one. I'm going to grab it like that, and then I am going to use this crane and use my pencil or my pen or a pair of scissors to do a little hole in here. There you go. Now, if you use any kind of tool, just be very careful. If you need some help, always call an adult. So I got a little hole in here, and then I'm gonna try to put this in to the little hole. Sometimes you may need to make a little bigger or use the tool again. There we go. To stick it in there. Yep. There we go. And then just make a little knot around it. Make sure you make a double. Sometimes I like to leave. There you go. And you've got your mobile here. And then you can hang it in your room, or you can just give it to somebody. You can print a message like, hey, missing you, Granny, or, you know, thank you to our essential heroes, whatever you want. I'm gonna draw a heart in this one and some eyes, because I just don't like birds with no eyes. There you go. And then you can do whichever size and shape you want. You can just decorate them however you like. Use glitter, use anything you like. And if you want to send us pictures of how they turn out, we would love to see how you guys did. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. Email me or phone me. I will be happy to help. I know this one is a little more complicated. It takes a few times to try, but you know, go ahead and try it. What's the worst that could happen? It's just paper. So have fun, and hope you like this, and I hope to see you very soon again in the club round. Have a wonderful day. Take care, guys.